Welcome to South Hagerstown High School, getting set for high school football. The South Hagerstown Rebels hosting the North Hagerstown Hubs here, week number 9, final week of the regular season. Glad to have you with us here at School Stadium today. Mark Keller and Coach Pete Urish with you. And Coach, we're looking at a couple teams here kind of going in different directions. South started off the season with a victory. They've lost 7 straight since then. On the other side, North Hagerstown lost their first 4 games of the season, but now have kind of found their footing a little bit, winning 3 of their last 4. Let's start off talking about the Hubs and what the difference has been there. As we mentioned, 4 straight losses to start the season, but then things kind of clicked. What happened on the north side?
Well, first of all, good to be with you again here today, and welcome to everybody out there, and hope we can put on a really good show for you today. When you look at the tale of 2 seasons, back week 4, both teams were kind of like questioning where they are, what's happening. North was trying to run a spread offense, trying to move the ball around to as they say, getting the ball to the athletes in space. And they had a little wing tee package that they would run some. And I'm talking with Coach Butts. He said after that game, he had to figure out like who we are and what are we going to be. And he said, we had the philosophy going into the season, let's get to the ball to our playmakers in space, like James Jackson, Khalil Pegas. So he was like, we got to figure out how we can get the ball to these guys on a more consistent basis. And he said just collectively they decided, look, we're going to go to this wing tee offense and put them all on the field at the same time and give the ball to them. And so they get basically, he says we got 3 run options on every play, and we always have a pass option to throw to Khalil Pegas. And he referenced, even though they lost last week to Boonesboro, he referenced in that game that they were Boonesboro was trying to really hone in and stop the run, that left Pegas open, and they were able to get him some ball. And then when they started throwing him the ball, they were able to run the ball more. So it was kind of like a mix or match. But that's what's really happened from the offense perspective. On the defense perspective, they run a 3-4 defense, which is new from last year. They were a 3-3 defense. Now they're a 3-4. A little different. But then what happened with them on defensively, he said the kids started getting more in sync, understanding the system. They kind of simplified some things. They're doing some stuff where they're playing stand-up defensive linemen, which you don't see too often, and they've been in more of attack mode. And since then, when you look at their points over the course of the year, they're giving up 25 a game and averaging only 20. Now that you factor in the Spring Mills game where the final score, if I remember right, was 64-0.
Yeah.
But in the last since they were 0-4 since then, in their last 4 games, they are scoring 29.5 points a game, and they're only giving up 17. So it's a flip of two seasons, if you will, and they're looking at the playoffs next week. Probably going to end up playing Oakdale, and so as Coach Butts explained it to me, the way they're looking at today, they really want to come out and showcase what they do to get everybody excited, because the key said the kids are buying into the new way of doing things, and to keep that on, that this could be a program changer, this game today, because South's won, 10 out of the last 11?
Yes.
And so they're kind of at the point where we're kind of like, we got to get over that hump, and he feels like this could be the program changer. So that's been it for them.
Okay. Well, stay with us when we come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about this afternoon's game, and Bob Parcelletti is going to be talking with North Hagerstown coach Nathan Butts as well. So stay with us. More to come here from School Stadium at South Hagerstown, getting ready to host North Hagerstown High School football, brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia. Here on the evening.
Get phenomenal financing and the best inventory in over 4 years. It's time to fall into savings at Hagerstown Honda. Right now, get 0% financing on the Honda Prologue, the first all-electric midsize SUV from Honda that seats up to 5. Hop into the Honda Accord and get 3.9% financing for up to 72 months. And the Honda CR-V with 2.9% financing for up to 36 months. Or choose the Honda HR-V Sport, 3.9% financing for up to 48 months. Come fall into savings at the dealer that makes it easy, Hagerstown Honda.
When you need someone who will come through no matter what, someone who will go the extra mile, Cumberland Valley Heating and Air specializes in the installation of residential and commercial heating and air solutions. 24/7 emergency service delivers our promise of getting you the help you need when you need it. We're the tri-state experts in heating, air conditioning, and above all, comfort. Cumberland Valley Heating and Air. It's hard to stop a train.
Running the bases, it's more than just about speed. It's about agility, endurance, and resilience. But injuries can slow you down. At Meritus, we specialize in keeping athletes at their peak. From prevention to recovery, from rookies to professionals, our team of experts are here to keep you at the top of your game.
If I was the mayor of this town, I'd still be driving around in a Kia from Hagerstown, Kia.
Fall into the savings during Hagerstown Kia's model year-end event. Get a Kia Telluride 4.99% for 72 months, or the Kia Sportage 2.99% for 66 months. Drive away in a Kia Forte 4.99% for 72 months, or the Kia Sorento 2.99% for 66 months. Fall into the savings during the model year-end event at
Hagerstown, Kia.
Back here at School Stadium, getting set for high school football. South Hagerstown hosting North Hagerstown today. The Hub City Gridiron Classic, 68th meeting between North and South Hagerstown. South leads the series 35-31 and won that tie coming in the first ever meeting back in 1957. Mark Keller and Coach Pete Urish with you. I want to talk a little bit about what you mentioned with Coach Nathan Butts for North Hagerstown and kind of that change he made. He's a first-year head coach here at North Hagerstown. He's been an assistant for a number of years, but first-year head coach. What's the mindset? What does it take to sort of make that change, to look at what you're doing? You have this plan set at the beginning of the season, and, okay, this isn't working. We got to try something
right
different.
Well, I think it's kind of a two-way street from the fact of, like, you got your assistant coaches who are trying to figure out what we are. Then you got the players, and the players aren't really telling you philosophy-wise, but maybe the players, their body language, watching what they're doing, maybe they were more comfortable in the offense that they were running in wing T. And he said that, he took all things in consideration. The kids felt more comfortable playing in the wing T because he said they had a heart-to-heart with them. Look, this is what we're going to do, and the kids have really bought into it. And so it's a collective whole. A lot of times we like to say in football, it's sometimes it is run by the head guy, and we all do what he says. But we all know 99% of the head coaches I know, they're always open to suggestions and always open to assist. So that's what kind of helped propel that. Is he said he had to take all that into consideration, and he used the term that he had to do some soul searching himself because he really wanted and really thought he could get the kids, be more effective in space. But obviously, he said, I learned and grew from that as a head coach, that sometimes you can't force it upon them. You got to take what our kids are going to give us and play to the personnel. So, that is a growth mindset that Coach Butts had. Absolutely,
a great move on his part, and as you mentioned, winning 3 of their last 4, and the only loss in there, an overtime loss to a very good Boonesboro team last week.
Right. Yeah, and it came down to an extra point, and so they were kind of felt like they were. Disenchanted with the loss, but they, every time, this is the other thing he said, they were 0-1, 0-2, and it seemed like the focus became on what didn't we, where the negatives were, and so opposed to what are we doing, what can we do best. And so he said, they had the message after last week's game was, hey, we gotta put this to rest, move forward, north-south, but then let's talk about, let's find the positives in it. And that's what he said. It's been a positive mind growth for everyone involved, coaches, assistant coaches. So,
right. Okay, we're going to take one more break, and when we come back, we'll be ready for kickoff between South Hagerstown and North Hagerstown here at School Stadium. High school football brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia.
If I was the mayor of this town, I'd still be driving around in a Kia from Hagerstown, Kia.
Fall Fall into the savings during Hagerstown Kia's model year-end event. Get a Kia Telluride 4.99% for 72 months, or the Kia Sportage 2.99% for 66 months. Drive away in a Kia Forte 4.99% for 72 months, or the Kia Sorento 2.99% for 66 months. Fall into the savings during the model year-end event at
Hagerstown Kia.
Get phenomenal financing and the best inventory in over 4 years. It's time to fall into savings at Hagerstown Honda. Right now, get 0% financing on the Honda Prologue, the first all-electric midsize SUV from Honda that seats up to 5. Hop into the Honda Accord and get 3.9% financing for up to 72 months. And the Honda CR-V with 2.9% financing for up to 36 months. Or choose the Honda HR-V Sport, 3.9% financing for up to 48 months. Come fall into savings at the dealer that makes it easy, Hagerstown Honda. Are you tired of living with water that is causing rust stains, hard water spots, or bad smell or taste? With S&L Water Solutions, you'll know from your initial call that your water is our priority. We offer well pump services, water testing and treatment, and salt delivery. No water or low water pressure? We fix that too. Let S&L Water customize a complete water system for your specific needs. Just because your water's clear doesn't mean it's clean. Locally owned and operated. Call S&L Water Solutions for an in-home estimate today.
Get more from your debit card. Your First United Bank & Trust debit card can earn rewards points on all your purchases, online or in-store. Paying is easy and secure with contactless capability and card controls that you manage. When you add your card to your mobile wallet, you tap into even more convenience.
Pay the easy way every day and get rewarded with the First United Bank & Trust debit card. Visit mybank.com or visit your local office to learn more. First United Bank & Trust, banking for a better tomorrow.
If I was the mayor of this town, I'd still be driving around in a Kia from Hagerstown Kia.
Fall into the savings during Hagerstown Kia's model year-end event. Get a Kia Telluride 4.99% for 72 months, or the Kia Sportage 2.99% for 66 months. Drive away in a Kia Forte 4.99% for 72 months, or the Kia Sorento 2.99% for 66 months. Fall into the savings during the model year-end event at
Hagerstown Kia.
Back at School Stadium, getting set for kickoff here between the North Hagerstown Hubs and the host South Hagerstown Rebels. Glad to have you with us here on Antietam Broadband. Our live coverage today brought to you by Hagerstown Kia and Hagerstown Honda, the dealers that make it easy. Hagerstown Kia wishes much success to the student athletes participated in today's game, the schools that they represent, and their surrounding communities. Glad to have you with us here on Antietam Broadband today, Channel 6 and 806. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, glad to have you with us for live coverage of high school football here in Washington County. Week number 9, final week of the regular season. The 68th meeting between these two Hagerstown schools is now underway. The Rebels won the coin toss and elected to receive. And they down that kickoff right around the 41-yard line, and they will start from there.
So I don't think that was the plan right there to that short of a kick. I know they want to kind of keep the ball away from the deep returners. I think they were trying to get that to a little sky kick, squib kick we call it. Not so much, that was more of an onside type. Squib kick wants to go down the field more, but field position is a key to this game. And both coaches told me it was interesting that they both said that the big key to the game is going to be the trenches, is how the offensive line and defensive line play for both sides. So we'll see how that materializes throughout this game, because I know both of them also talked about their athletes and getting the ball to the athletes and how they can, can break open the game. But again, as we know, it all starts up front.
That first down play, Mike Owens, pass incomplete, intended for Raiden Lansdowne on the far sideline. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from 41. Owens with JoJo Davis in the backfield beside him. Snap is on the ground. Davis picks it up and is dropped there for a loss. Blake Custer making the stop for the Hubs. We'll have a 3rd down and about 11.
So I know Coach Sandridge wanted to kind of stay ahead of the chains and get some positive yards on first and second down, make the third downs more manageable. But an incomplete pass and a fumbled snap on the center, it doesn't bode well for you.
Now Owens with the fake handoff and keeps it, gets the ball out to midfield. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down. So an early decision here for South coach Jawan Sandridge. He'll have a 4th down and 1 from midfield. And the offense looks like it's staying on the field there. Pickup of 10 on that play for Mike Owens. Owens takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Davis, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. And the Hubs hold on the first possession of the game. They will take over with the ball at midfield.
Well, that was a little run option, and I can't see who that was for number 78 for North. Joseph Holt.
Joseph Holt. Bryant Nubissi was in there as well on the stop for the Hubs.
That ruined that run option, so there was 2 options for Mike to give the ball or to keep it.
First down play for the Hubs. The handoff to Germanus Abanji. Picks up about 3 yards. Be a second down. Going to give him 4 yards. It'll be second down and 6. Ball at the south 46-yard line.
So I think we're going to see North here stay in their wing tee package on these first down, second down, see what they get on third. And there's another little trap play. That was a Tyquel Fauntleroy, I believe, carrying the ball on that. This is where Coach Butts was talking about the 3 options they have to James Jackson, Fauntleroy, and they got a host of other guys they play at that third position. He said they're three deep at running back position.
Picks up about 3 yards, so I have a third down and a short 3 here. Coming around the end and picking up the first down and knocked out of bounds is Amari Murray.
And I know that's devastating for South. Their coaches are upset because that was a tackle for loss right here. It's a missed tackle. That's 1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackles, 3 missed tackles. And give it to Murray. He was elusive enough to get up the field and make some positive yardage, what could have been a negative play. So sets them up with first down in South's territory.
Picked up 4 on the play.
And that's what the old Buck Sweep. You know, that's the Buck Sweep right there.
Germanus Abanji picking up about 2 yards on the play. Ball spotted at the south 36. Will be a second down and 8.
Yeah, Coach Butts is high on Germanus Abanji. He said he's been a surprise for them to break out. He's their kick returner as well, and he said anytime he touches the ball, he's a threat to go the distance.
Another ball carrier for the Hubs. This time it's James Jackson. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain there. It'll be a third down and 8. Lost maybe a little bit of yardage on the play.
And this is good old wing T, what they call wing T Sally play. It's a misdirection play. It's sort of like a counter where motion goes one way and the ball goes back the other way. And South did a nice job making that play there.
Jeremiah Welch in on the tackle that time for the Rebels.
So North got another third down conversion here. And they're in their spread offense, but that's a wing T play.
Jackson around the right end, and he's going to go all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. James Jackson.
And that was essentially the same play that they just ran. They just ran it out of a different formation. They ran motion, and then that's another Sally play coming back to the weak side.
36-yard touchdown run for James Jackson. Gets the Hubs onto the board first here at School Stadium. Now on for the extra point, Sergio Melendez Irizar. Going to try to throw for it here. And instead it's picked off. Taken in by Purcell Clay for the Rebels. So the Hubs on the board first. James Jackson with the 36-yard touchdown run. It's North Hagerstown leading South Hagerstown 6-0 here at School Stadium. Stay with us, more to come here on Antietam Broadband.
Get phenomenal financing and the best inventory in over 4 years. It's time to fall into savings at Hagerstown Honda. Right now, get 0% financing on the Honda Prologue, the first all-electric midsize SUV from Honda that seats up to 5. Hop into the Honda Accord and get 3.9% financing for up to 72 months. And the Honda CR-V with 2.9% financing for up to 36 months. Or choose the Honda HR-V Sport, 3.9% financing for up to 48 months. Come fall into savings at the dealer that makes it easy, Hagerstown Honda.
Back here at School Stadium, North Hagerstown taking an early 6-0 lead here on South Hagerstown. The 68th edition of the North-South game. Another squib kick here by the Hubs. Taken and covered there by Ryan Ragland. Right around the same spot as the last time.
Yeah, this is giving the ball at the 40-yard line. Really, yeah, they getting the ball again at the 40-yard line. This is, you know, maybe what I watched in practice, North was trying to kick the ball a little deeper than this, so I know it's not exactly what they want, but if their defense keeps playing, you know, might end up being a good thing for them.
1st and 10 from the 40, and it's JoJo Davis up the middle, picking up about 5 before running into a wall of Hubs defenders.
Now that's a good positive gain for them. Now it's manageable downs, and this was Coach Sandridge and I were speaking about, like, their offense staying on schedule. Let the offensive line, you know, make some holes and move some people and get positive yards on first down.
2nd and 5, 2 backs in the backfield now with Owens. Owens keeps it, gets across midfield for the first down and taken down finally at around the 46-yard line.
Yeah, this 2-back offense out of this spread it really gives you a it's a 3-in-1 play. So you got you know, 3 options right there. It's another way to run what's called triple option out of the RPO spread scheme. And it really, with the elusiveness of Mike Owens at quarterback, it really strains the defense to defend that.
So 1st and 10 for the Rebels at the North 46. Another low snap. Owens able to pick it up, but he's immediately smothered there by a couple of Hub defenders.
Yeah, that's the second bad snap we had, and it's really putting things off schedule. You can see here, North is they're in attack mode with their front and their outside backers, and you're trying to penetrate the middle of the defense, which will be there, but these snaps have got to they got to get to the quarterback. It makes it hard when you can't get the ball to the quarterback and run your play off schedule the way they have.
Loss of 2. It'll be 2nd and 12. Now a high snap. Owens has to pull it in and gets back to about the line of scrimmage before again being smothered. Bryant Ubisi in on that tackle for the Hubs. Ben DiStefano there as well. for North Hagerstown. So loss of about a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 13 now for South Hagerstown.
Yeah, so you get 1 step forward, 2 back. Those bad snaps really put you behind, and hopefully they could get that figured out. Now we got some confusion going on. So we're counting down the time. Now they're in a bunch formation, and they're able to get. They're going to get penalized for delay of game.
Delay of game call here against the Rebels, and some frustration showing already for South Hagerstown. They call it. They must have called a timeout here. Well, First United Bank and Trust proudly sponsors Washington County Public Schools fall events. First United Bank and Trust, banking for a better tomorrow.
Yeah, they called a penalty on that, a delay of game. I was watching the back judge who keeps the clock, and I saw him counting down, and there was no eyes on him. Their eyes were all on the sideline trying to figure out exactly what they were wanting to do. So now we got 3rd and 20.
3rd down and about 18, and Owens under pressure here again and taken down. And it's Ben DiStefano getting the sack that time for North Hagerstown, a loss of another 5 on the play. So South Hagerstown is right back to where they started this drive, right around the 40-yard line. And they'll have a 4th down here and long, so they'll punt it away. Braden Sisk back to kick for the Rebels. Nice kick and a good roll for the Rebels. It's down at about the 21-yard line of North Hagerstown.
Yeah, that was a nice punt to flip the field, get North backed up in their own territory. I know Coach Sandridge was, concerned about James Jackson returning punts, and I know Coach Butts was talking about how James Jackson is a threat. So Coach Sandridge said they were going to try to keep the ball away from him, try to get some hang time on the punt, what we just had right there, and so hopefully this will work out. We South could keep him down here and force North to punt and give his offense another chance.
It's a 1st and 10 from the 21. Ball run to the outside.
Yeah, Mark, that was a play designed. It's called a trap where guard pulls supposed to run up inside, but South did a nice job of taking the trap block on and forcing it to bounce outside.
Tuckwell Fauntleroy on the carry there, picks up about 6 yards. Be 2nd down and 4 for the Hubs. 3:47 to go here in the 1st quarter. Hubs lead at 6-0. Handoff up the middle this time. Right into a pack of Rebels.
Yeah, so that play they ran there it's a what's called a power play, where you pull a guard to and try to get more at the point of attack. It's usually a tight inside type play, but that was ran to the open side based on the front of how South is aligning to that. But South did a nice job. Sometimes that gives the illusion of how their even front looks, that you can run it to that weak side of the formation. But South did a nice job on that. So sometimes there's a little deception that happens in the defense.
3rd down at 4. This time coming around the left side, and lots of room to run for Amari Murray before he's finally dragged down by Braden Sisk inside the South 25-yard line. Mark him out at about the 23.
And this is a speed sweep. And South's what's called edge defender, their outside linebacker, got pinned inside. This is one of those plays where you cannot come down inside. You got to maintain. It's called outside leverage and take blocks on with your inside arm. And he just came down too far, and they pinned him, and it's called a log block. You pin him back inside, and the running back's able to run right around him.
Pickup of about 55 yards on the play for Amari Murray. And now on first down and 10 from the 23, it's Javon Frith.
Yeah, that was a nice tackle by Jeremiah Welch here. No, there was 2 on that. I didn't see it on the initial tackle, 24. First down.
Snyder Mateer also in there on that tackle. Picks up about 3, second down from the 20. Carry up the middle by the Hubs. Picks up about 3 yards.
Yeah, it was another trap play that they're trying to run up inside. Tyquel Fauntleroy.
Fauntleroy picks up about 3. Going to have a third down and about 4 to go. Inside the 20-yard line for North. Logan Huffman rolling out.
So
broken up there.
I got this written down in my notes, a quote directly from Coach Sandridge. They run, and they hit you with the waggle, and that's what they did right there. And they're trying to throw back to Pegas here, running the post on it. We had the fullback open in the flat, and if they drop the ball off to the fullback, it's a first down.
Nice defensive play there by Purcell Clay for the Rebels, breaking that pass up. So now fourth down, and the Hubs will be going for it here. 4th and about 4. Huffman pitches to Amari Murray, has the first down and gets inside the 5-yard line before he's taken out there by Braden Sisk.
That play there is a rocket sweep. That's something new that North is starting to do a little bit. I don't know if they had this in their playbook before, but I know we talked a little bit about it with Coach Butts, and that's something that Boonesboro does a lot of, is that rocket sweep. It's like an old I-back toss sweep.
Right.
And it's just run a little differently out of the wing tee. It's run with the guy in motion.
First and goal from the 4-yard line. Huffman handing off this time to Abanji, but
that was number
stacked up behind the line of scrimmage.
That's Christian Edwards made a nice play, number 19.
Loss of about 3 on the play. Takes the Hubs back to the 7-yard line where they'll have second and goal. About a minute to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, we're winding down in this clock here and see if we're going to get a score here before the half or before the quarter change, or what Coach Butt's philosophy is going to be here. Hopefully, I think he wants to score as fast as he can. There's the Sally play.
Jackson into the end zone easily, 7 yards. James Jackson with his second touchdown run of the day, giving the Hubs a 12-0 lead.
That's the third time they have ran that play, and they've had success on 2 of the 3. The one was the last possession, but they did it out of the spread formation. They ran it twice in a row last series, so it's good to come back to.
Melendez Urizar with the extra point, giving North Hagerstown a 13-0 lead here. About 43 seconds left here in quarter number 1. Our live coverage today here from School Stadium, brought to you by Hagerstown Kia and Hagerstown Honda, the dealer that makes it easy. Hagerstown Kia and Hagerstown Honda wishing much success to the student athletes participating in today's game, the schools that they represent, and their surrounding communities. So the Hub's getting ready to kick off here again. Beautiful afternoon, Saturday afternoon for football here in Washington County. Keith, that was one of the things I wanted to ask you about is what's the preparation, how different is the preparation preparing for a Friday night game and a Saturday afternoon game as a coach?
So the typical week is Monday is a scouting report day. You go out, we get some work on both sides of the ball and then your special teams. And then Tuesday is, Tuesday and Wednesday are usually more of your padded practices, and everybody does something a little bit. We got a fumble here.
Ball on the ground. The Hubs say they have it. It was Mike Owens on the return. And now the official says it is south ball.
So, yeah, and Monday and or Tuesday, Wednesday is a lot of, it's a big work day, and everybody does it a little different. Some focus on offense on Tuesday, and some do defense on Tuesday, and some do a combination. And then Thursday's your normal pregame practice where you got work through a lot of scenarios, work your offense, defense, special teams, and then run some type of play script type of schedule. Friday, when you get Friday, add another day. I'll finish after we this play here.
First down play is JoJo Davis, and
we got
we have another ball on the ground.
Yes, we did. So when you add a day to the schedule, everyone does it a little bit different. I know some people like to front load it, which means do a lot of work in the front, beginning of the week. Some like to backload it, do a lot of the work in the back of the week. Some look at it as like Friday is another Thursday type practice. Some coaches will take Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Monday scouting report. Tuesday be a more heavy offense or defense, and flip it on Wednesday. Do it 50-50 on Thursday, and then do your pregame on Friday. So
that's the end of the first quarter. North Hagerstown with a 13-0 lead over South Hagerstown. Stay with us. More to come from School Stadium. High school football on Antietam Broadband.
Get phenomenal financing and the best inventory in over 4 years. It's time to fall into savings at Hagerstown Honda. Right now, get 0% financing on the Honda Prologue, the first all-electric midsize SUV from Honda that seats up to 5. Hop into the Honda Accord and get 3.9% financing for up to 72 months. And the Honda CR-V with 2.9% financing for up to 36 months. Or choose the Honda HR-V Sport, 3.9% financing for up to 48 months. Come fall into savings at the dealer that makes it easy, Hagerstown Honda. Now's the time to advance your future through USMH. 5 universities, 1 local campus, all in downtown Hagerstown. For nearly 2 decades, USMH has served as the premier regional higher education center. And with more than 16 programs, USMH can help you achieve your educational goals with flexible scheduling, small classes, and state-of-the-art facilities. At USMH, we believe everyone should have access to an affordable education. Apply online at hagerstown.usmd.edu.
Back here at School Stadium, high school football on Antietam Broadband. North Hagerstown with a 13-0 lead over South Hagerstown, getting set to start the second period here. Mark Keller and Pete Urish with you. Glad to have you with us here on Antietam Broadband for the final week of the regular season. Both teams headed to the playoffs next week. We'll talk about that a little bit as we go here. Second down play kept by Owens. Gets out across the 35-yard line to about the 37.
That was designed quarterback run play for Owens. I know Coach Butts, talked about one of the threats that and concerns he has, a headache as he called it, is getting Owens on like the passing game, what's called running off schedule. But he said anytime he runs, that's he could be a game changer. So they want to do the best they can to bottle him up when he's trying to run and try to make him throw so he doesn't run when
right.
They don't want him to run. So it's a tall task, but thus far, Dorset, sticking to their game plan and doing well here.
Third down and 3. Owens keeps it again, gets out, and the ball's on the ground again. This time the Hubs have it.
Yep.
Owens had just gotten across the 40-yard line, which is where he needed to get for the first down when the ball came loose. Take a look at the replay here and see what happened.
Well, what happened is when you teach your runners to try to, when they're going to carry the ball, particularly in traffic, try to run it with two hands, number one, and try to keep the ball. If you're going to go put it in any arm, put it in your outside arm. And he had it on his inside arm, and tacklers came from the inside. And he didn't see it, came from behind, and he clubbed it out. And then I think he hurt his.
Yeah, Owens is holding his arm coming off the field now. He went down. We'll take one more look at the play here. Let's see if we can.
So they got him right there, and then it's that 44. Nabissi got him stripped him from over top. And you actually teach that. That's one of the things you teach when you're, teaching tackling is to, particularly if you see a ball carrier with carrying in one arm, is try to knock that ball out.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hubs. First down play around the left side was Fauntleroy. They're going to mark him out of bounds inside the 20 around the 18-yard line.
We got a penalty. We got a penalty flag out here. This was supposed to be an inside run, what they call belly play in the wing tee, where it's lead the ball up inside what's called the B gap between the guard tackle. Fauntleroy saw something on the edge and jumped it right outside.
So holding penalty negates that run. Brings it back 10 yards from the spot, so North will have a first down and 11 here from the south 40-yard line.
That's first penalty on North. So it's what, second?
Yeah, just second penalty of the game. South had the delay of game penalty in the first period. Now here's Fauntleroy up the middle again. Picks up about 5 to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, what's tough is when you get playing these wing tee teams, when they start running the ball up inside and then they hit you on an outside run, they're running, it looks like another trap play where the guard's pulling and yeah, you follow that, it kicks out a defensive end and you hit it right in that soft spot. And they've run trap multiple times today and they've been successful. It's been their most successful play consistently.
Second down and 6.
South that's number 32, it looks like.
Yeah, Ryan Ragland.
Ryan Ragland, yep. They have been playing this play here. This is the staple of, this is a down play, one of the 3 big plays that Coach Butts likes to run. And it's like a power, it's called power. In the wing tee, we call it down. And buck sweep, 2 of the big 3 plays that they like to run. The staple of North's offense. South has done a nice job on 2 of the 3 plays. It's just that trap they haven't played real well yet.
3rd down and 7 after the loss of 1. Here's Huffman getting it out into the flat. Caught there by Pegas. He's going to be close to a first down. Needed to get to the 29. They're moving the stick, so
yes,
it is a first down for Pegas. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line.
That was a nice catch. He had to go up and get that thing. I thought it might have been overthrown.
So the Hubs on the move here again in South Territory. We reach the 9-minute mark here in the second quarter. Huffman under center, hands it to Fauntleroy. Jukes a little bit, gets back up across the 25-yard line to about the 24. It'll be gain of 5 for Tyquel Fauntleroy.
Yeah, he actually made something happen here. Because he should have stayed. He ended up going back to where it needed to go from the get-go. The play before, when he ran that belly play, that was another belly play to the tight end side. The one he had earlier, they got the penalty on. It was the same play, just at a different type of formation. He went to bounce that out and got some positive yards.
2nd and 5, and this is Frith. stacked up at about the 20-yard line, driven backwards, but they give him the progress to the 20.
And that was I believe that was a buck sweep again. Yes, that was buck sweep again. This is the most positive yards North has out of this play here. Braden Sisk made a tackle there, and then
Sisk in there on the tackle, and
several others. Nigel Jeffries got in on that. Now we're 3rd and short here.
3rd down and 1. Broken play, and Huffman has to keep it. And he's taken down.
That looked like that was going to be the speed sweep that they had big yardage on the 1st down earlier in the half.
Sisk in there on the tackle again, and
so there's
last week against Francis Scott Key, Sisk setting a Washington County record, 25 tackles in the game against Francis Scott Key, and he's racking a few up here again today.
Yeah, that's quite impressive. Quite impressive. Yes, Coach Sanders and I were chatting about that. He said, well, Coach, that's a good thing and a bad thing. So I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean.
Huffman on 4th down, ball's out, and it's scooped up, taken out of the air by a Rebels defensive lineman.
23.
And that's Rob Fernandez. Huffman, much like Owens on the last South drive, had the 1st down and then lost the ball.
That number 58 knocked that out, I believe.
It was a big hit there from Ernest Stewart, just a freshman for the Rebels. Playing up here in the North-South game today. So the South defense holds, and the offense back onto the field here.
So Layden Griever's in at quarterback.
Yeah, Owens was shaken up at the end of the last drive, and now it's Owens coming in following that 1st down play that Griever ran. As JoJo Davis was stopped for a short gain, less than a yard on that 1st down play. 2nd down and 9 for South Hagerstown. Midway through the 2nd period, North with a 13-0 lead on South. Owens looking to throw. Scrambles to his right. No one open, he's going to keep it. Gets out of bounds at about the 27-yard line.
North did a nice job of covering that up. That was a lot of vertical balls, or vertical routes there, and North did a really nice job of covering that up, and they did a nice job of trying to keep him in the pocket. But Mike's such a great athlete that he's going to take off and go. But there was nowhere for him to throw the ball. So North, that's exactly what North wanted to do today in the passing game, is try to keep him in the pocket, force him to throw, and if he has to run, make limited yards, limited damage.
Pickup of 6. It's 3rd and 3 from the 27. Owens under pressure again. This time can't get away from it.
Yeah, that was a blitz by the Hubs.
Ben DiStefano's in there on the play, as well as a number of other Hubs.
Yeah, they ran an outside linebacker blitz with Damian Thomas, number 9, and Bryant Nubisi. So you're bringing 6 guys, and it's hard, for your protection. You can block it, but they did a nice job disguising it in what's called bringing it from depth, which means from not right up off the line of scrimmage.
Braden Sisk with the punt. It's going to roll dead at about the 45-yard line.
Yeah, that's what South wants to do on the punt game, is try to keep that away from James Jackson, and that was a nice job, nice punt by Sisk. Get that over to the sideline, and if he was going to go catch it, you got to catch it and run up that sideline. it doesn't give much chance of a return. So the punt game's been good for South. They just, maybe they could capitalize on it again here.
Hubs take over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. And taken down in the backfield is Javon Frith.
That's by number 30, John Dollar. He's a sophomore, and South's really big on him and what he's going to bring to the program the next 2 years as an outside backer. They presently surprised by his play, and they said he's done nothing but get better every game, every week. So that's a good thing. When you bring sophomores up, you want them to play. You want to see them improve.
Loss of 5 on the play, 2nd down and 15 now for North Hagerstown. Ball at their own 40-yard line. Huffman back to throw. Out into the flat to James Jackson. Lots of room to run for Jackson down the sideline again. Gets away from the last defender and into the end zone. Touchdown number 3 on the day for James Jackson. And we have a Hub down on the field, hurt back in the backfield.
I know there's a flag down on the field, and I'm not sure. It's down near the goal line. This was a screen play, tailback screen. I'm not sure what the. Maybe it's going to be on North.
The officials are huddling and talking it over. We'll see if.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike. In high school football, and sometimes you'll see this in college, and sometimes you see it in pro, but they're really going to enforce this in high school football. If particularly a runner's going to celebrate before scoring, they're going to throw a flag on that. I think that's what they got North on right here.
Take one more look at the play. Yeah, and there's.
Yep.
That's where the flag comes in. It's Jackson signaling his 3rd touchdown of the day.
Yep.
So the touchdown stands. South will take the unsportsmanlike penalty on the kickoff. Xavier Ferguson was the Hubs player who's down. He's being helped off the field now as the Hubs get set for the extra point here. 19-0, North Hagerstown leading South Hagerstown. 4:01 to go here in quarter number 2. And it's Sergio Melendez Irizar in for the extra point. Logan Huffman with the hold. The kick is up, and it is good. Hubs with a 20-0 lead here over South Hagerstown.
So, Mark, that last penalty, that's one of those discussions coaches have because you have this discussion and there's the rule, and we all understand the rule book, but that penalty is now going to be, the touchdown counts, so it's going to be counted, taking the penalty yards on the kickoff, which is what you want to do if you're South Hagerstown, right? So it backs them up. Instead of kicking from the 40, now they're kicking from the 25. All right, but what the discussion a lot of times from coaches, when we have these discussions about getting an unsportsmanlike celebrating before that happened before in the field of play before he crossed the goal line.
Right.
So it's always, well, did he score first and then get the penalty, or did he, and then I know coaches like, well, if you haven't crossed the goal line, then
right,
we should, the penalty should be on the play.
Right.
It's like did the runner score a baseball before the runner in the field got dug out?
Yes.
So one of those judgmental things, and I know that's something that always gets discussed among coaches.
Kick taken at about the 38-yard line. Kahari Alford with the return. Gets it across midfield.
So this is the best field position South has had. Maybe this will get them sparked here and get them rolling.
Alfred comes up, looks like he may be limping a little bit, headed towards the sideline. And Alfred will come to the sideline. And he looks like he is hurting. South takes over at the north 45-yard line. 3 receivers to the right. Owens fumbles the snap, and now he's going to scramble, try to get some positive yardage, and does. Gets the first down and knocked down there by James Jackson. Right at the line of gain, 35-yard line, so a pickup of 10, but Owens had to run a lot more than 10 yards to get that.
So that was a nice run after dropping the snap was good. He probably just took his eyes off the snap, and he turned something negative into good. So maybe it'll be a good thing. Maybe South can get going here.
1st and 10 at the 35. Owens hands it to JoJo Davis. Another good run for the Rebels. Across the 25, taken down at about the 24-yard line. JoJo Davis with a gain of 11.
That's the guy they got to get going. If they could get him going, along with Mike Owens, they can possibly change this game here. It's all been north right now, and the South's offense on the move, so hopefully they can continue to keep it moving and score some points here, to pick up their sideline, to pick up the crowd.
2 plays, 2 first downs here for the Rebels. They're inside the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 at the north 24. Little pitch to Sisk, gets away from one tackler and another. And back across the 25 to right around the...
We got 2 flags here. It's probably going to be offsetting.
Offsetting unsportsmanlike calls, it looks like, are coming. Caleb Thompson and Braden Lansdowne having some words in the defensive backfield at the end of that play. Going helmet to helmet. So offsetting personal fouls against the 2 teams. The ball stays where it is. Sisk with no gain on that play. 2nd down and 10 here from the north 24. Owens has 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, and JoJo Davis in the backfield with him.
Run the pass, and that was going to be a short, quick pass to the outside, but they had the bubble where the 3rd receiver was running a little bubble, and somewhere there's a miscommunication because the bubble looks open, but right after he got the snap, Mike just went to the weak side receiver, and he took a peek, and then
it was Ben DiStefano that was the first one through. He flushed Owens out of the pocket, and when he got out there were 3 more Hubs waiting for him.
That was one of those plays, that throw's got to come out fast. It's got to come out right now. And if you're going to escape, you want to try to escape to the side that, away from where the pressure was. He went to the pressure. Now they got a little sprint out.
There's a loss of 10 on that play, so 3rd and 20 here, and Owens' pass floats high and incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 20, make it about 19. From the Hubs' 34-yard line. throw just a little too high for the receiver out there, Jameer Sims. South on 4th and long, kind of in that no man's land here, and down 20. It makes sense to go for it here. Down to 1:21 to go in the first half. Hubs showing blitz here, and we're going to get a timeout called. Not a timeout, but a false start penalty against the Rebels. That's going to back them up 5 more yards to the 39-yard line. So now you're looking at 4th and 25, and now the Rebels will take a timeout here and discuss this. What kind of plays do you have in the playbook for 4th and 25, Coach?
Yeah, well, that's one of those, sometimes a screen, just to maybe get the ball down the field, you know, because if you're North, you're thinking maybe they might try to throw the ball to get the first down, because obviously if you're going to go for it, you're going to try to get a first down. But if you're not going to go, I mean, if you're going to go for it, you know, a lot of times defensively think you got to protect the stick. So they got 25, keep everything in front of you. A nice play, well, they're going to punt now, but a nice play to run and something like this on a day like here where you're down 20, you can run a screen, and hopefully that screen is, you know, gets you down the field, and all you're doing is eating up, you know, field position. But it can possibly spring you to a first down as well.
Right.
But I'm more of on the conservative side when it comes to this. I'd rather punt, take my chance with defense here. So.
Yeah, and that's what the Rebels are going to do. Braden Sisk going to kick here for South Hagerstown. High kick. It's going to go out of bounds right around the 25-yard line.
Yep, there was another one keeping. I know they probably would like to get that ball deeper, but again, keeping it out of James Jackson's hand. They got, what, a minute 21 here, minute 13. Let's minimize damage. Let's get back in the locker room, regroup in the second half, figure out what we can do, what we like, what we don't like, and you know, focus in on the positives, and let's get on the scoreboard. That's South's thinking right now.
Well, they have to play a little defense here now, too.
Right.
1:13 to go, and North does have all 3 of its timeouts left, so certainly don't want to give the Hubs any chance to get another score on the board, and North does get the ball to start the second half as well. So here's 1st and 10.
Yeah, when you run the ball, it keeps that clock running. I'm not seeing them calling timeout, so I'm going to think Coach Butts is probably thinking here is we're going to try to, you know, run something to, you know, a big hitter like they ran, the Sally play. They've had a big play on the screen play with the clock running, and maybe see what they get here and this next play, and see what they're going to do as far as how they're going to manage the clock in the last 30 seconds of the half.
Fauntleroy picked up 7 on that first down play, 2nd and 3. Down to about 30 seconds to go. Going around the left side is Amari Murray. He's got some room to run down the sideline. Amari Murray is going to take it all the way to the end zone.
And there's the speed sweep that they have. They've had
There is a
success on.
flag on the field, right back around the line of scrimmage, which was the 33-yard line. So this might be coming back. They are waving it back. See if we can see what happened here.
It's probably a hold out on the edge. I don't think we actually saw who was the culprit there, but it's usually that flag where it is and thrown from outside, it's usually a it's usually out someone on the edge, either right here. I think they was holding Sisk there. Number 6 was getting held. And he's their what's called edge defender. And so he's trying to set the edge, and if they're going to hold him to keep that from happening, that can spring that play. So now you got 19 seconds left, and you got 3 timeouts. You got to make a decision. Well, you know, how do we want to manage it? You know, we got
You're at
74 yards,
yeah,
76 yards.
Yeah, 23-yard line here. 2nd and 13.
Here comes the Sally play.
This is Jackson with room to run, breaks a tackle, and it's going to be James Jackson taking it to the house this time. 77 yards, no flags on the field this time. This one's going to count. James Jackson, touchdown number 4. Take a look here, Coach. And
yeah, it's that Sally play that they've had success on, and we just missed tackles. That's the 3rd missed tackle there on that play. And a good defensive coordinator is going to chart your missed tackles through a game, each game and through the year, and who's missing tackles. And what that tells you is a couple things. Who's missing the most tackles? Do you got to need to make a replacement there? Why are you missing tackles? What type of tackles are you missing? In traffic type tackles, out in space type tackles. That was something that during my time as a defense coordinator, that was one of the big, where are we in field position, as far as like and this ties in with your special teams, where their average starting spot is, how are we doing on 3rd down, 4th down, our turnover, and then missed tackles. I said the big 3, so the big 4 if you want to throw that in. But the 3rd down, 4th down, I kind of keep that as like one category. What you're doing, you're down in distance, and then, missed tackles are a big thing, and we try to. You got to limit that as much as you can, and I know South doesn't want to miss tackles, but it happens. But you got to give credit to North, the running backs.
Absolutely.
They're breaking tackles, and they're running through arms, and they're making moves.
Kick off with 4 seconds left here in the 2nd half, and South is just going to cover it here. And you mentioned, South coach Juwan Sandridge in the punt game wanting to keep the ball out of James Jackson's hands, and Jackson is showing why that needs to have. Seems like every time he's touched the ball, he's been a danger to the Rebels.
Yep, he certainly has, and I know that they wanted to try to limit him. South did. They wanted to limit him. They felt that he was their primary threat, even though they got other guys who run the football. But they were, thinking, well, let's see if we could shut him down. But they've done a nice job. It's just, James has just really, broken some tackles and made some plays on it, with his own athleticism.
The Rebels take a knee to get us to halftime. As we go to the break, it's North Hagerstown with a 27-0 lead over South Hagerstown here at School Stadium. Stay with us. Coach Urish and I will talk about what we saw in the first half, and Bob Parcelletti will hopefully have a talk with South Hagerstown coach Juwan Sandridge as well. We have a few flags going out at midfield as we go to the break here. We'll take a look and see what those were when we come back. 27-0 North Hagerstown leading South Hagerstown high school football on Antietam Broadband.
If I was the mayor of this town, I'd still be driving around in a Kia from Hagerstown, Kia.
Fall into the savings during Hagerstown Kia's model year-end event. Get a Kia Telluride 4.99% for 72 months, or the Kia Sportage 2.99% for 66 months. Drive away in a Kia Forte 4.99% for 72 months, or the Kia Sorento 2.99% for 66 months. Fall into the savings during the model year-end event at
Hagerstown, Kia.
Looking to buy or sell your home? At Real Estate Innovations, we do more than just list and sell real estate. Since 2009, our agents have been offering detailed knowledge of local communities, housing trends, and the overall real estate market. With offices located in Frederick, Hagerstown, Greencastle, and Spring Mills, we have you covered. Call us at 301-745-1500 to connect with one of our real estate experts.
ambition meets opportunity, success has a sound of its own.
5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Clear.
How does your future sound?
When you need someone who will come through no matter what, someone who will go the extra mile, Cumberland Valley Heating and Air specializes in the installation of residential and commercial heating and air solutions. 24/7 emergency service delivers our promise of getting you the help you need when you need it. We're the tri-state experts in heating, air conditioning, and above all, comfort. Cumberland Valley Heating and Air. It's hard to stop a train.
Now's the time to advance your future through USMH. 5 universities, 1 local campus, all in downtown Hagerstown. For nearly 2 decades, USMH has served as the premier regional higher education center. And with more than 16 programs, USMH can help you achieve your educational goals with flexible scheduling, small classes, and state-of-the-art facilities. At USMH, we believe everyone should have access to an affordable education. Apply online at hagerstown.usmd.edu. Get phenomenal financing and the best inventory in over 4 years. It's time to fall into savings at Hagerstown Honda. Right now, get 0% financing on the Honda Prologue, the first all-electric midsize SUV from Honda that seats up to 5. Hop into the Honda Accord and get 3.9% financing for up to 72 months. And the Honda CR-V with 2.9% financing for up to 36 months. Or choose the Honda HR-V Sport, 3.9% financing for up to 48 months. Come fall into savings at the dealer that makes it easy, Hagerstown Honda.
Back here at School Stadium, halftime. The 68th North-South game. North Hagerstown leading South Hagerstown 27-0. High school football here on Antietam Broadband. Glad to have you with us here today. Beautiful Saturday afternoon for football here in Hagerstown. Mark Keller and Coach Pete Urish with you. And, we mentioned it right before the half here. South wanted to keep the ball out of James Jackson's hand, something they haven't done. James Jackson, 4 touchdowns on the game for North Hagerstown, resulting in all of the touchdowns scored here in this game. And he's really had a heck of a game so far.
Yes, he has. And it's like every time he's touched the ball, he has made something happen. And he's running inside, he's running outside, and he's breaking it to the outside. And right now, he looks like that he is, running with a little bit of passion, and he's trying to, this is a big game, the North-South game, and being on both sides of this, coaching in both teams, seeing it, every kid gets really excited to play. And then when you can have a game, and it looks like James is enjoying himself, and he feels like he is wants to really win this game, and he's running with that passion, and he's breaking tackles, he's running inside, he's making some plays, and South's done a nice job of trying to keep him contained, but sometimes it's the will of the player, not so much the play. And it's like we talk all the time as coaches. Sometimes we can have the best schemes, but if the player's not in the right position, it may not happen. If the player's not in the right mindset, it may not happen. But if the player's in the right mindset, Coach Butts has now recognized he's my guy today. So you got to ride that horse then sometimes. So.
Absolutely. Well, and we talk about it a lot with. I know I go back a lot to Boonesboro and to Coach Anders, but he had such an impact in this county for so long, and of course the wing T was the staple of the Boonesboro offense. That idea that you have all these different options, all these different people, and we're seeing that a little bit here today from North Hagerstown with Amari Murray, with James Jackson, Tyquell Fauntleroy, all getting their opportunities with the ball and really doing some damage against South Hagerstown.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are, and that's when you have when you have a three-headed monster, and then you had a fourth to a receiver, which Pegas made a nice catch on the first down. And it's hard to focus defensively. What are you going to take away? And like I wrote down here, when you look at what North's offense is doing, they told me, Coach Butts told me their stable plays buck sweep, power, and trap. Well, the trap's been working for them. The buck sweep and the power hasn't. So what's the counters off of it? Speed sweep, rocket sweep, and what we call Sally. And Sally's been the big play for him. And that's the misdirection. You throw, like, it looks like some kind of outside run one way, and you bring it back the other way. So
we take a look at some of the highlights from the first half here, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of James Jackson in these highlights.
Right, and that is the Sally play. They ran out of the spread offense, where the direction went one way, and they came back, and that was a really, really creative way to run it. And then
36-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. This was the failed extra point attempt by the Hubs after that.
Yeah, it was a nice catch by, even though it's an interception in the end zone, nice catch. Here's a speed sweep.
And this is Amari Murray. This was the big 55-yard run that Murray had to set up North's second touchdown there in the first quarter.
Right, if I remember right, that was a 3rd and 12 play, I think.
Yes, it was. Big play from Amari Murray. He had a couple big runs here in the first half. The second was negated by a penalty, but that one picked up 55. Got them down close to the end zone.
That was the rocket sweep. And here's the Sally play out of the old traditional. You saw all the motion went one way, and they pulled the guard and tackle and come back. And so Sally's been their big hitter. That's been their most successful play.
7-yard touchdown run for James Jackson there. Made it 13-0. This is Tyquell Fauntleroy taking the ball down the left sideline.
And that was an inside run play that they were supposed to be in, but he bounced it outside. And then
that was one we thought was a touchdown, but it was called back for a penalty. And here's one play that went South's way was the fumble that was recovered by the Rebels. But here again, Jackson taking the pass from Logan Hoffman all the way down the left sideline, 65 yards for his third touchdown of the game. As he showed you there, his third, he did get an unsportsmanlike conduct call for signaling that call. And this was a guy that you said, JoJo Davis, that the Rebels really need to kind of get going,
right?
For them to get something happening offensively.
And there's Sally coming back again. That's what I don't know why Coach Tubby Raymond, the inventor of the wing T offense, called that Sally. I have no idea why, but that's what that play is, and it's a really good missed. And you see the success again.
James Jackson going 77 yards. That was after the long run by Murray was brought back by the penalty, and just one play later, Jackson takes it all the way to the end zone again, giving the Hubs a 27-0 lead here at halftime. With the Rebels, South Hagerstown Rebel marching band on the field now for their halftime show. And for South Hagerstown, what do they need to do to get things going offensively here?
They look like they haven't really tried to figure out how they want to attack North's defense. It looked early like they were going to try to attack it up inside to try to make them focus on trying to tackle the inside run play to get them the edge. Because as Coach Santry's told me, and we know this from seeing them before, they're an outside run type team to get JoJo Davis on the edge and run. But they said their North's outside linebackers are really good. They do a really good job of what's called setting the edge, making everything inside. So their game plan was, let's run up inside, make them have to stop us running inside, and then we'll come back and hit them on the outside. Well, they've had 4 fumble snaps on plays they were trying to run up inside, and Mike Owens had the one. We dropped it on a pass. He dropped a fumble, but he dropped a snap, which is a good snap, but he turned that to a positive play. So I think that they could get a couple positive plays going and get JoJo running the ball, and then come back to, if they can get that 3 option with the 2 running backs in the backfield with him and get that triple option concept going. I might put North on the heels a little bit, boost their little excitement, and maybe get them in the end zone. And I think that could possibly, build some excitement and maybe change the atmosphere of the game. A lot of times in this game, and I've been on both on the winning side and the losing side of this, and I've been in real tight ones, and I've been in big point differentials. you just need some little spark in these rivalry games. You need a little spark. If we can get a little spark for South, that might change this whole second half, because both teams have known what it's been like to be successful, even though it's been several weeks for South. And then, North has been on the downside of things. So, I know South's probably trying to figure out, okay, so what you do at halftime when you're down like this, all right, what have we done well? What can we do well? Let's scrap what we're not doing well. I know they tried to throw a ball a couple times, and the routes have been so far vertical down the field. Well, let's take some short game and, throw the ball out on the edge on a little bubble, what's called a bubble screen or a hitch screen, those kind of things to kind of get North's defense to spread out, but they've had success. South's had success running up inside. I think that's what they got to do is come back, run inside, kind of set up their offense, and the further that point differential gets away, you start okay, what do I got to do now to try to get us back in the game? And I think that's where they are right now. And then I think maybe, halftime they can regroup and say, hey, let's go back and being us and do what we do and run the ball inside to set up the outside run.
Yeah, one thing the Hubs have done very well defensively is they've not given Mike Owens any time at all to throw the ball. The few times he has gone back, he's been under pressure a lot and had to scramble and get out of the pocket.
Yes, yes, he has. That was the thing that Coach Butt said, that the biggest scare that he had when I asked him a question, what's going to give you the most fits, what scheme? He said the quarterback running off schedule. And I asked him to elaborate. Well, when the quarterback is dropping back to throw the ball, and he takes off running, we're going to try to make him cover up. We're going to try to do our best. We're going to play some zone coverage in front of him, try to make him make a decision, and then keep all eyes focused towards him by playing a zones concept, and then to have our D-line to kind of rush him, but not rush down hard inside to try to keep him in the pocket. If he is going to take off and go, he's got to run up inside, which is going to make it a little bit harder, give him a little more traffic and slow him down. And thus far, that's what they've done.
Right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the second half here from School Stadium. North Hagerstown with a 27-0 lead over South Hagerstown, 68th edition of the North-South game. Stay with us. More to come here on Antietam Broadband.
If I was the mayor of this town, I'd still be driving around in a Kia from Hagerstown, Kia.
Come unlock your journey with the dealer that's making it easy, Hagerstown Kia. Drive away in a Kia Telluride with 4.99% financing for up to 66 months. With a Kia Sportage, 2.99% for up to 66 months. And the Kia Sorento, 2.99% for up to 66 months. And for a limited time, Hagerstown Kia will give you a $1,000 trade bonus. Come and unlock your journey in a new Kia from
Hagerstown, Kia.
Get phenomenal financing and the best inventory in over 4 years. It's time to fall into savings at Hagerstown Honda. Right now, get 0% financing on the Honda Prologue, the first all-electric midsize SUV from Honda that seats up to 5. Hop into the Honda Accord and get 3.9% financing for up to 72 months. And the Honda CR-V with 2.9% financing for up to 36 months. Or choose the Honda HR-V Sport, 3.9% financing for up to 48 months. Come fall into savings at the dealer that makes it easy, Hagerstown Honda.
Running the bases, it's more than just about speed. It's about agility, endurance, and resilience. But injuries can slow you down. At Meritus, we specialize in keeping athletes at their peak. From prevention to recovery, from rookies to professionals, our team of experts are here to keep you at the top of your game.
Welcome back to School Stadium. Halftime here of the 68th North-South football game. North Hagerstown leading South Hagerstown 27-0. Our live coverage here today on Antietam Broadband brought to you by Hagerstown Kia and Hagerstown Honda, the dealers that make it easy. Hagerstown Kia and Hagerstown Honda wish much success to the student athletes participating in today's game, the schools that they represent, and their surrounding communities. Final regular season game for both of these teams. Both will be moving on into the postseason next week. Final game of the fall season for us here on Antietam Broadband as well. We appreciate you being here watching our live coverage today on Channel 6 and 806 Antietam Broadband. Also, if you're watching on YouTube as well, thanks for joining us there. We have replay opportunities for this game coming up Monday and Tuesday, November 4th and 5th at 8 p.m. And then next Saturday and Sunday, November 9th, November 10th. 2 opportunities both of those days, 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. First United Bank and Trust proudly sponsors Washington County Public Schools fall events. First United Bank and Trust, banking for a better tomorrow. Big first half of the game here for James Jackson. 4 touchdowns for North Hagerstown. A 36-yard touchdown run, 7-yard touchdown run, both in the first quarter. He took a 65-yard pass from Logan Hoffman, a little pass into the flat. 65 yards for a touchdown, and then just before halftime, a 77-yard touchdown run for James Jackson. 4 touchdowns on the day. Always one player that stands out in these North-South games, and certainly today it's been James Jackson. The Hubs back on the field. We have Bob Parcelletti standing by on the field, hoping to get a word with South coach Juwan Sandridge as the Rebels come back out for the second half of play. Glad to have you with us here on Antietam Broadband. Mark Keller and Coach Pete Urish with you. The Rebels have won 3 straight North-South games coming into this one, and 10 of the last 11, dating back to 2011. They've won 11 of 13. South leading the series 35-31. And 1 tie in the first matchup between these 2 schools back in 1957.
So South is still in the locker room here. So hopefully we're going to figure out what's – now they get additional 3 minutes. So what we have in high school, actually in college as well, that you have your 15 minutes, and then but you're supposed to be on the field, and you get additional 3 minutes to warm up. Gotcha. So I see them trying to get North out here.
And the Rebels.
Or get South out here, North out here on the field. So
it's been a tough year for the Rebels, as we mentioned in the pregame. They started off the season with a 20-15 win over Century. Followed that up with a 51-0 loss to Spring Mills, and it's been kind of uphill ever since that game, and they've struggled offensively throughout the year, and we've seen much the same here today.
Yeah, it's they started with Layden Griever and Braden Sisk. Braden Sisk was started out the year's quarterback. He does a little bit of everything for them. Then they won St. James game. They started Layden Griever, and then they knew they were getting Mike Owens back. I just don't think that they have found their groove offensively. What do they want? It's the old adage of you got to stand for something, or you'll fall for anything. Right. And it looks to me like South's offense right now, you got to have an identity. And I don't think their identity, they want to be an outside run team. And that's just not what's happening right now. And I know Coach Sandridge going into the game this week and speaking with them, their game plan was to try to run the ball inside so they can get it outside.
Right.
But it seems that's been the way the whole year. Like the last time we had them, when you're unstable at quarterback and offensive line, they've had they're down 2 offensive linemen that were out all county last year. They're out for the year. It's hard to build continuity up front, and anybody that knows any little bit about offense football, you got to have the most cohesive unit's got to be that offensive line, and both coaches alluded to that going into this game. What's going to win and lose is it's going to be up front, both on the offense and defensive line. What we're going to do is who's going to be the guy who's going to be the guy that's going to lead that unit. And it looks like, South's got some kids that, they're trying to, do the best they can. But sometimes you got to have that alpha,
right.
and it just doesn't seem like that's that's the thing missing up front.
Okay, we're standing by for Bob Parcelletti. He's going to have South Hagerstown head coach Juwan Sandridge. And he has him now. We're going to send it down to Bob Parcelletti on the field. And we're going to send it down to Bob. Bob, take it away.
I'm here with Coach Juwan Sandridge. Hey, Juwan, you guys look like you're facing a team that's playing old school football, and then they're just trying to run at you.
Right, yeah. We came out a little slow here. A couple missed assignments, a couple missed tackles, and you can't do that against a team like this. So, yeah, we're hoping.
They're running like three basic plays. You're stopping two of them. It's that trap that's giving you the problem.
Absolutely, yeah. That's something that we discussed here at halftime. We're going to make some adjustments to come out the second half, hopefully get this done.
You guys have been a little bit challenged scoring. You got to 20 points once so far.
Yeah.
How do you make up 27 points?
I mean, we just keep believing, man. We keep believing. We're going to keep driving here. Again, we made a couple adjustments offensively that we're working on, and we're just laying on the line out here this second half.
Last question. I know you've been here for a while. Last year you were the head coach of this thing. This is the first time you've run the whole show for the whole year. How important is this North-South game?
Oh, it means everything to us. We believe that no matter how your season goes, if we win this game, then it makes a lot of things right. So that's kind of where we're at.
Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you to Coach Sandridge as well for taking a few moments with us.
Being on both sides of this, Mark, I'll tell you the one biggest thing that that you got to be behind the scenes to really understand it. And maybe you being alum of you'll understand it. When you get that trophy and it stays in the front office for the entire school year, there's a lot of talk about that. There's a lot of talk about that thing, and it draws a lot of interest. So it's one of those bragging right things that if you've never been a part of it, it's really cool to be part of, and you really want that trophy for the year.
Absolutely.
And so that's kind of. That's where Coach Sandridge said it means everything to them. Now, hopefully, I'm really rooting for the Rebels to get going here to make this turn this to an exciting game for us.
Well, they'll start it on the defensive side. North will receive the second half kickoff, and so we'll see if South can come up with a defensive stand here to start off the second half and try to get something going offensively. Now, they'll be kicking off from their own 25-yard line because of the unsportsmanlike call just before or just after the first half ended. So that will be to North Hagerstown's advantage here to start off.
Yeah, and this is what you don't want to do if you're South. You don't want to get starting this field position. So but, hey, it happened. You got to go with it. It is what it is, as we say, and let's see what happens.
Kickoff received at around the 40-yard line and stacked up there.
I'll tell you what, I know we talked about missed tackles. You don't like it, but Mike Timmons just running down the field there as hard as he did, got a hand on and spun him around, and you want to see him bring him down, but that held it up because that could have went for significant yards right there. So that was a nice job. Hopefully, like I said, they need a spark. They just need a spark. Offensively, defensively, somewhere they can get a spark and get back in the game.
Hub start at 1st and 10 from their own 44. Handoff is to Fauntleroy. Gets across the 45-yard line and stopped at about the 46. A pickup of 2.
And that's that inside, they call belly in the wing tee, ISO play. You lead a running back up and on the linebacker, and the ball carrier follows behind. The South has done a nice job on this play. But that's the one early in the first half where Fauntleroy just ran to the outside. But that play is designed to go inside.
2nd and 8.
And there's the trap that. Now that play's been successful for them here. But for North, I did this. South actually did a nice job defending that.
James Butts on the carry there. Picks up about a yard. So 3rd and 7. Play coming into the north huddle. James Jackson heading into the huddle as well. Ball at the 47-yard line. Man in motion is Murray. He gets the pitch from Huffman and has the first down. Amari Murray stopped at the south 45-yard line.
You know, we haven't talked much about Logan Hoffman, the quarterback for North. Yesterday, talking with Coach Butts about him, and I'm seeing it, and I know what he was talking about. He said he stays really composed during the game. He stays poised, and so I hate to use the term game manager, but that's what he is for us. And he said he's my voice on the field. He's able, and you need that that's one of the. And I think maybe we were talking about South's, instability there. Logan's been their quarterback all year, and when you have that they present that when you watch them as a team.
First down and 10 from the 45. And this is Jermaine Abanji. First we've seen him carry the ball for a while. Picks up about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 at the 41-yard line.
They're rotating guys in and out. And that, the other good thing here comes the waggle.
Hoffman's pass intended there for Garrett Forrest. Just a little too high. Forrest couldn't pull that one in.
As I was saying, they're running guys in and out. And the positive thing of that is you give guys rest, and when they get on the field, they could be explosive. And that's that pass right there. If he just has it a little bit lower, Garrett might be still running.
Yeah. 3rd down and 6.
Still manageable down here. They've run the ball here on these 3rd downs. So let's see what they do here.
There's Murray in motion again, and it's back to Jackson around the right side.
And they just took the ball from him. They took it from him.
Going down the left sideline is 33, Nigel Jeffries. Nigel Jeffries has the Rebels in business inside the red zone at about the 10-yard line.
That was the Sally play that they've scored on, have big success on. And you can see how he's carrying the ball loose. And that was number 9.
Number 9.
Knocked that out.
Jeremiah Welch.
Yep. So that's been 2 fumbles that costly mistakes for North when you're driving the ball. And I know even though you're up 27 points, you still don't want to turn the ball over. And, those in a game like this, knowing what you got to do next week.
Right.
Those little things like that you want to limit. But, again, we see runners carrying the ball up inside one hand with their inside hand. And I'm an old school football guy, running back, and we were always taught, and I've taught it coaching. You got, and we always call the term carrying the ball high and tight. Well, when you call it to carry it low and loose, bad things happen. And we talk about high and tight is that ball's up high under your shoulder and tight in between your fingers and your hand and your elbow. And preferably when you're running inside, cover it up with 2 hands.
So the stoppage in play there, Rob Fernandez of the Rebels was down on the field with an injury. He's off the field now, walking off on his own power, which is good to see. So South now, 1st and goal, just inside the 10-yard line. Owens fakes the handoff to JoJo Davis. Owens to the sideline. He's taken out of bounds at about the 2-yard line. Nice pick up there by Mike Owens.
And that was a quarterback design run. That's one of those run options. It's not a run pass option. It's a run option. It's a read option with the quarterback and the running back.
Picks up about 6. They spot him at the 3, 2nd and goal. Owens to JoJo Davis up the middle. It's a touchdown. JoJo Davis, 3 yards for the score for South Hagerstown, and the Rebels are on the board. Early on here in the 3rd quarter, the Rebels get a break and they capitalize. And now we have another Rebels player down on the field here.
Not sure who that is. Well, just like that, Mark, we got a
South taking
21-point game.
Taking advantage of the turnover and getting on the board quickly. They probably couldn't have scripted a better start to the second half. And we'll take a moment to remind you our live coverage today, brought to you by Hagerstown Kia and Hagerstown Honda, the dealers that make it easy. Hagerstown Kia and Hagerstown Honda wishing much success to the student athletes participating in today's game, the schools that they represent, and their surrounding communities. And the player on the field is up now. We get a look and see who that is.
Is it 58?
Headed towards the sideline. I believe it is 58. That would be Ernest Stewart, the freshman. Had a pretty nice game in his first go-round here in the North-South game.
Yeah, on the last fumble they knocked out of Hall's hand, he was the one who knocked the ball out. Hate to see a young man have to leave this game in an injury like this. Hopefully he'll be okay.
Holding up that right leg as he heads towards the table, the trainer's table.
Yeah, these times when you get here, South had to run a player on. These timeouts, like that, hold things up. And
kick for the Rebels is up and good. Abraham Tellez Herrera makes it 27-7. South Hagerstown getting on the board here early in the 3rd quarter.
Well, is this the spark that's going to get the Rebels going here? That remains to be seen. But I know the excitement of taking the ball from James Jackson, who's been running like crazy. You know, you get excited, take the ball and score in 2 plays, even though it's from the 10-yard line. But Mike Owens had a nice run on the first down, and JoJo ran it up in there. Maybe, you know, the defense could come out here and get another stop.
All about that momentum, right?
Yep, that's exactly right. We talked about that before.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. It means so much in these games, and the volleyball matches that we've covered this year. The same thing. You get a team that has that momentum. They start believing in themselves. They start seeing the results going their way, and it does change the mindset for sure.
Yeah, Mr. Mo. Some people call him Mr. Mo. So Mr. Mo is a real thing, and yep. And I've been on the good side of that, and I've been on the bad side of that. It does not feel, and you can actually feel momentum switch. You can feel it, and so I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens here, but thus far to start the second half, I know Coach Sandridge said that they like to make some adjustments to get moving and limit some missed tackles.
Michael Stewart on the return there for the Hubs. Pretty nice return, gets the ball out to about midfield, and the Hubs will start from there. And Stewart did a nice job there finding his blockers and getting behind them. So now it's North. 8:36 to go here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from midfield. This is Fauntleroy, ran into Hoffman.
And that's that trap play that they were real successful with in the first half. That trap play for a while, that was their most successful play till they got that Sally going. And they've run it twice now in the second half. South's done a nice job against it. So that maybe that was an adjustment. Hey, we got to get underneath the trap and force it to go and stay in the backfield. And, when you run those direct north and south plays, when I say north and south, I mean directly straight ahead in the line of scrimmage, you want to bounce that, make that thing bounce east and west, go to sideline to sideline. And that's what they just did right there.
Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11. Fauntleroy again. This time gaining some positive yards, about 5 yards.
Yeah, I think, I don't like to point out referees, but I think they just got missed a hold out there. I couldn't tell, but I saw a hand grabbing a lot of green jersey and right at the point of attack. And yeah, right there, 54 is being held pretty good. And that's that ISO play or belly play, they call it in the wing tee. And South's done a good job against that as well. But it's a manageable third down here. Sally's been a big play for them on third down and one of the sweeps.
3rd down and 6.
Oh,
Hoffman looking to throw. Gets it to Pegas for the 1st down. Khalil Pegas hasn't had a lot of opportunities today.
No, and that's just a one-man route right there, a 3-step drop, one man run a slant. I know yesterday when I was leaving practice, North's practice was over, and Coach Butts, I was chatting with him right before, and he kept those two afterwards and working on that play right there. And so it's just to get the ball to a playmaker to make South, hey, we got to do something different here.
Picked up about 14 yards there. And a new set of downs for North Hagerstown as Braden Sisk runs Javon Frith out of bounds for a loss.
Yeah, that was a power play that North was running that they haven't really had much success with either. And South ran a blitz. And it could have been, I mean, they still got him tackled for loss, but it could have been more yards.
Lost about a yard on the play, so 2nd and 11 here. Ball's around the 33-yard line.
There's trap again.
Up the middle.
Now we're going to be in a 3rd and long situation.
James Butts getting another carry, gets it to right around the 30-yard line.
We got about 3rd and 8 right here. And sometimes some teams, like, you can have them pinpointed what they're going to run in these long yardage situations, but you would conventional wisdom say pass. I'm going to say it's maybe Sally, because that's when North has run a couple times and been successful with. And they're the one-man route again on the fade ball.
Huffman looking for Khalil Pegas, but incomplete.
Yeah, on the last 3rd down, they ran a slant. A one-man route. So they just ran another one-man route. So, okay, that tells you he's defense coordinator in these 3rd and 4th, 3rd down situation. Now we're trying to get, the wide receiver involved.
4th down and about 8 here.
Usually on these type of downs, an offense will have some consistent pattern through the scouting report. You can kind of focus in on exactly what they might do. So they're running waggle here, and waggle throwback. It's a screen.
And it's dropped incomplete. Yep. The Rebels defense holds, and it's going to give the offense another chance here.
And I tell you what, I got to say this. I watched North practice this, and I watched South practice against it. So it was, this play is called waggle throwback. You run them all the motion one way, and that's where they threw the ball to the tight end down the field, and it was overthrown. Well, now you throw it back to the back you fake the run play to. I tell you who runs that to perfection is Fort Hill. If you know anything about Fort Hill runs that wing T offense, and they run that play like nobody I've ever seen
pass,
run.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And that waggle throwback. And but yeah, I watched North practice that, and I watched South defend that in practice. And South actually defended it just like that in practice. So you can tell that was coaching. Now we're going to run. Here's an off-schedule run, picking up a first down.
1st and 10 for the Rebels, and it's Mike Owens.
Well, we got. Are they moving the sticks? No, they marked him a bit short. I thought he had the first down. Maybe he stepped out of bounds.
Just shy of it. Yeah, I thought the initial line of scrimmage was the 30, but it looks like it was the 31. Right. So he picks up 9. A 2nd and 1 here. And it looked like Owens had some time to throw there, but nobody open to throw the ball to.
Yeah, we're getting an all-out blitz coming right here.
Owens keeps it up the middle, gets the first down. Out around the 44-yard line. Picks up 4 yards on the play, and new set of downs for the Rebels. You talk about that momentum. You're starting to feel it a little bit. Starting to feel that momentum shift.
Yeah, that's good. They've had some night, an off-schedule run, and they had a scheduled run here. And this is where, the penetration up inside can help you, particularly when you're, playing against a team who's strong on the outside. And that was an outside backer blitz, so they were bringing their 2 outside backers on that last play. No.
Low snap still on the ground. Owens picks it up. Now looking for a place to go. Gets a good block. Owens out to midfield, just across midfield, out of bounds there, and picks up about 6 yards.
And I'm glad, and this is another little coaching point I try to point out to the folks, is the play's supposed to come to the south sideline, and see how you always try to teach the quarterbacks, running backs. If you fumble the ball in the backfield, try to get the ball to where the point of attack goes, not run away from it. And the reason why, because your blockers are being set up there. And so he actually made some positive yards coming back through the design of the play.
2nd down at 4, just across midfield. JoJo Davis up the middle. Nowhere to go that time.
Nope. That was another. They had the box full. When we talk about the box, we're talking about that from tackle to tackle, 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage to behind the linebackers. It used to be the old school 3 on each side, but now linebackers are lining up deeper in most today's defenses. So it's about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage to 5 yards to the defensive sideline. We call it the tackle box, and that's actually a box you look at, and how do they pack the box in. So now the box is spread out. So what do? You either pass or you run the ball up inside. Now they're blitzing their inside linebackers here.
Got the stacked backfield.
And we run an option.
Owens pitches it. Nowhere to go for Jameer Sims.
And that was a nice play. Is that Bryant Nubisi?
Take a look there. I think that was Nubisi making the tackle there.
All right, South's going to punt the ball.
4th down and 9. Back at their own 46. And it is Braden Sisk on to punt for the Rebels. Good high kick here.
We got 2 returners.
Muffed it at the 20-yard line, and he's going to be taken down back at about the 18. There's Michael Stewart, who we saw on the previous kickoff. Couldn't handle that kick, so spot the ball right at the 20-yard line with 2:47 to go here in the 3rd quarter at School Stadium.
Well, they have done well in their punt team, keeping them, not giving up any hidden yardage. In other words, they're not giving up any big punt returns to the explosive returners that North has. So that's a good thing. So maybe they flip the field position here and they can keep North pinned. And North hasn't yet to punt, if I've got my statistics correct here.
That's correct. Taquel Fauntleroy on first down. Picks up about 4 yards out to the 24-yard line. Second down and 6. The clock continues to run. Closing in on 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. Final day of the regular season here in Washington County. Teams will be into the postseason next week. A second down play, nowhere to go.
Nope. That was Ryan Ragland.
Ragland there on the stop.
It looked like he was blitzing, but I couldn't really tell if he ran a blitz or if he was just reading that. And that's another trap, and he's vacating where the pulling guards pulling from, and they might be. A lot of people teach that against these wing tees. When the guard pulls, you run through the gap he pulls through. Now there's a blocker designed to block you coming from where the puller's going to, but a lot of times if you read it, you run it's called taking the run through it. And I couldn't tell what. Now here's a speed sweep here.
Ari Murray getting around the edge and across the 30-yard line for a first down. Stopped at about the 33-yard line.
So North has been very successful in these outside sweeps. They've run 2 versions. That's called a jet sweep or speed sweep. It's the same thing. One goes to tight inside, one goes to split inside. Speed sweeps usually split in, SP, jet, the T. And then the rocket sweep where they run the guy in motion and toss it. And they've been successful with that. That's the most yards they've had that North has picked up on this play, that inside ISO or belly play.
It's James Butt picking up another first down, 10 yards on the gain there. Ball out to the North 44-yard line.
So they're rolling some guys in and out, and Amari Murray's been their outside speed sweep, jet sweep, rocket sweep guy. He's just came back into the game.
And James Jackson in the backfield now as well. I was just going to say we hadn't seen much of James Jackson here, and here he's getting the ball.
That's a 5-yard tackle for loss if they make the initial stop. And he turned into a 5-yard gain.
5-yard gain for Jackson, yeah. And that's Ragland, just couldn't get hands on him there, and another missed tackle.
Yep. Gerald Jeffries. That's what Coach Sammer's talking about. We limit those missed tackles.
And it was Jeffries who did end up making the tackle, but as you said, had him back in the backfield, and James Jackson dragged him for a few yards.
Yeah, he did a nice job. There's that ISO play again.
Butts again.
Yep.
And he has the first down out to the 45-yard line, pickup of 6 yards.
And Mark, with this much time left in the game, I think
flag just came in here late.
So that's going to stop the clock. Trying to see what I don't see on the replay here what the.
Yeah, it was well after. I'm thinking it was maybe an unsportsmanlike call or a personal foul. It was well after the play.
I think it's going to be on North because Mr. Bob Budnicki, the white hat. Oh, it is on South. He was talking to the South sideline. I thought maybe he was asking them what they want to do. But it is on South.
It's 15 yards more for the Hubs here. That's going to take it all the way down to the 30-yard line. And North will have a 1st and 10 from there. And that does it for period number 3. So the Rebels get the only touchdown here of the third quarter. They get onto the board, but they still trail it. North with a 27-7 lead here at School Stadium. Headed to the fourth quarter. High school football brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia. More to come right after this.
If I was the mayor of this town, I'd still be driving around in a Kia from Hagerstown, Kia.
Come unlock your journey with the dealer that's making it easy, Hagerstown Kia. Drive away in a Kia Telluride with 4.99% financing for up to 66 months. With a Kia Sportage, 2.99% for up to 66 months. And the Kia Sorento, 2.99% for up to 66 months. And for a limited time, Hagerstown Kia will give you a $1,000 trade bonus. Come and unlock your journey in a new Kia from
Hagerstown, Kia.
Get phenomenal financing and the best inventory in over 4 years. It's time to fall into savings at Hagerstown Honda. Right now, get 0% financing on the Honda Prologue, the first all-electric midsize SUV from Honda that seats up to 5. Hop into the Honda Accord and get 3.9% financing for up to 72 months. And the Honda CR-V with 2.9% financing for up to 36 months. Or choose the Honda HR-V Sport, 3.9% financing for up to 48 months. Come fall into savings at the dealer that makes it easy, Hagerstown Honda.
Back at School Stadium, getting ready to start the fourth quarter. And it's James Butts on 1st and 10 from the south 30-yard line.
And I think we're going to start seeing a lot of that play. Coach Butts he's got a 20-point lead. And I was going to tell you during the break here, or right before break, is in the wing T offense, this is one of the things. You get these big leads, we're just going to keep running belly. That's that's just run belly. And every wing T coach I've ever talked to said, we can get those games where all I got to do is run belly, I'm good to go.
2nd down and 5.
And here's Amari Murray again running the speed sweep.
Gets it across the 20-yard line, which is enough for the first down. 27-7 is your score. North Hagerstown leading South Hagerstown. We mentioned playoffs, and both of these teams pretty much set in their playoff matchups
right
at this point. We'll talk about that after this play. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Huffman the handoff to Butts again. That belly play that you mentioned. Picks up a couple. North Hagerstown is right now in the number 6 slot in Class 3A West. 8 teams in that region. Looks like they're going to be facing Oakdale at Oakdale next week in the playoffs. And South Hagerstown right now is in the number 8 spot. They have the unfortunate task of facing Linganore in round number 1, most likely.
Yeah, and that'll be at Linganore. So North and South next Friday night are going to be real. Here's the Sally play again, Mark. They're going to be right close to one another. Those schools are only a couple miles apart, and that's the north-south of part of the north-south in Frederick County. That is a big rival. Those two. And Linganore actually has 2. It's them and Urbana, but Oakdale's become the new mini rival, if you will.
Yeah, Oakdale, one of the newer schools down there in Frederick County, and they've. It didn't take them long to build a program down there.
No,
they've become one of the strongest programs in the state of Maryland.
Yep, Coach.
Oakdale.
Yep, Coach Kurt Stein. I've known him for quite some time. He's a nice gentleman and a great football coach. A lot of respect for him, Coach Stein.
3rd down and about 3. This is Fauntleroy around the right side, gets to the post and into the end zone for the touchdown. Tyquil Fauntleroy, an 8-yard touchdown run. Gives the Hubs a 34-7 lead.
And that was the belly. I have to see that one more time. I didn't see quite. He bounced it outside, and I didn't see if a guard was pulling or they were running the belly play with him, because Butts was running that play, James Butts that is, and then they brought Fauntleroy in. We got something, a mouthpiece or something missing.
Yeah, some kind of equipment issue. One player out and another in for the Hubs here. Extra point attempt is up and good. And that makes it 34-7 in favor of North Hagerstown with 9:23 to go here in the fourth quarter. Here's another look at that touchdown run by Tyquel Fauntleroy.
Oh, it was trap. It was the fullback, what's called the fullback trap. There was a guard pulling, and South did a nice job on that of trying to force it. Well, what you try to do is you want to try to keep it and bounce that outside. They did a nice job, but he just outran South's defender. So they did a nice job defending at the point of attack. They just didn't do enough job corralling it in.
So the Hubs now with a 34-7 lead. Our live coverage here today brought to you by Hagerstown Kia and Hagerstown Honda, the dealer that makes it easy. Hagerstown Kia and Hagerstown Honda wishing much success to the student athletes participating in today's game, the schools that they represent, and their surrounding communities. We are, of course, always grateful to the support from Hagerstown Kia and Hagerstown Honda, helping to bring you live coverage of high school sports here in Washington County throughout the year. Hubs kicking it off. JoJo Davis taking it at about the 22-yard line. Davis has some room to run. He's going to go. JoJo Davis to the 30. The 20. He's got one man to beat. Has him beat all the way. JoJo Davis. 78 yards on the kickoff return.
I will tell you this. South did a nice job of actually trying to get a hat on a hat, and JoJo's one of those explosive players that they can just right there. You got some. He beats two guys here, and then everybody else had people blocked. One of the deceptive things about kickoff and kickoff returns, and you think where the big ones happen is when the blocks occur down the field towards where the ball is. A lot of people try to block way up, way ahead. And if you whiff and miss, as we call it, there's too much time for the defenders to make a play.
Extra point attempt up and good for the Rebels.
Hey, that's a spark here.
Abraham Tellez Haver makes it 34-14.
It's a fast way to get back on the scoreboard here.
9 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter from School Stadium. And now the Rebels defense once again will be tasked with making a stop, coming up with a turnover possibly. That was kind of what sparked them.
Yep.
Here in the third quarter.
They took the ball away from James Jackson. Got down to the 10, and 2 plays they were in the end zone. And, there was that third quarter, that was the only scoring play we had.
Yes.
And so they made some adjustments to shut some things down, against North's offense. Maybe this will get, maybe the defense could go get a 3-and-out here and get back on the field and, either make something happen on the special teams or score quickly on offense and see if we can close the gap here. We're running close on time here, but anything can happen in this game. Both coaches have both alluded to that it's north-south and anything can happen in any given play.
Amari Murray taking this kickoff from inside his 20-yard line out to about the 39.
Now, that didn't go for huge yards, but went for enough to get him out to the 40-yard line.
Right. Waiting for the officials to spot this one. Looks like it's going to be at about the 37-yard line. North will start from there. Their own 37, 1st and 10. 20-point lead with 9 minutes to go here. Huffman hands off to Fauntleroy. out to about the 45-yard line. Nice pickup there of about 8 yards for Tyquell Fauntleroy.
Yeah, now this is still that belly plate run, just to a little different. Same concept. Run it up inside. Try to, wing T teams want to run the ball inside, then run the ball outside to get you running and thinking, and then they kind of settle in. Now we're in the fourth quarter, and North has really, they've gone right back to it.
It's James Butts with the carry again. Getting a lot more action here in the second half than he saw in the first. Picks up 5. Now another flag flies in late. Most likely an unsportsmanlike call, given the timing of that flag.
I think this one might go against North here. I saw the umpire signal twice to the white hat, as we call him, Mr. Bob Budnicki. We'll see what Bob tells us here.
They're stepping it off against the Hubs. This is after the play, so Butts had gained the first down at midfield. So it is first down. The ball back at the 35-yard line for the Hubs. And it's 1st and 10 from there. 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. North with a 34-14 lead. First down run here from Abanji.
Yeah, he got 8 yards on that. They're back to running they're running a little bit, but it's the same concept, that belly play, Mark, but it's a weak side power. And they ran this a little bit early in the game. They got away from it because they weren't having too much success. But, the wing T philosophy, again, when you get a lead, let's just run the ball inside in the crowd. Let's just get them moving. And that's what we're seeing. That's the same play again.
Abanji again has enough for the first down. He's across the 45-yard line. Stopped at about the 46. So it's a pickup of 3, but enough for the first down.
Yep.
And it'll keep the clock going here, too, once they move the sticks. Make it a 4-yard gain to the 47. Logan Hoffman under center, hands it off to Butts. Gets to about midfield, and he's stopped there by a wall of Rebels defenders.
Yeah, that's here we are again. That was back to old school belly there, to the weak side is where you really went, to the guard tackle side. When I say the weak side, where away from the tight end side. And just how most defenses line up to that is why they say run to the bubble. The bubble is like if you put draw it up and there's a 2D lineman and a linebacker, that creates what they call a bubble. So run to that bubble, and that's what North is doing right now. They're just trying to kill the clock, run the time off, run it up inside. Let's not get fancy. But we got a penalty here again.
Flag here, and there's going to be a false start here against the Hubs.
So you don't like to get penalties here, but if you do, as soon as the clock starts again, you don't want to stop the clock.
Yeah, it's not going to change what you're running here too much, right?
No, not at all.
Second and 12 instead of 2nd and 7 here. I'm still betting we're going to see a run here.
Yep.
Hubs. More movement up front. This time, I think, might go against the Rebels. South showing a lot of men on the front line,
yep,
showing blitz, but that time jumped a little too much. So we go back to where we were, 2nd and 7.
Yep, go right back to where we started from and see what happens from here. And you know, if you're north, you're just trying to keep two hands on the ball, keep the clock moving. South, you got to start making something. That's what they're trying to do. In that last play, they were trying to run a blitz, stack the line of scrimmage.
Abanji pulling a couple defenders with him, and he's close to the first down. I think he has it. Nice run by Germanis Abanji.
Yeah, they're signaling first down here.
Gets it to about the 43-yard line of the Rebels. And a new set of downs while the clock continues to run. Inside 6 minutes now. Huffman hands off to Butts again. Another solid run for James Butts. Across the 40-yard line to about the 38. It's going to be a pickup of about 5.
Yep. And it's just a little bit of redundancy here, but you know, Coach Butts is just trying to get out of the game here. Let's just do what's safe. Let's not give them the ball back. Let's see if we can just hold it and run out the clock. And that's, you know, South is, you know, eventually it's going to have to, you know, if they want to do anything, get back in the game, they got to call timeout to try to get something going.
The Rebels have taken a timeout here. First United Bank and Trust proudly sponsors Washington County Public Schools fall events. First United Bank and Trust, banking for a better tomorrow. 34-14 is your score here at School Stadium. 4 minutes, 57 seconds to go in this one. The Hubs on the move here, looking to improve their record to 4-5 to close out the season. Really an impressive turnaround by the Hubs this season to start out at 0-4 and you know, lost a couple tight games in that first 4 games.
Right.
But you know, certainly the big loss to, and you know, no shame in losing big to Spring Mills. Both of these teams were you know, unfortunate enough to suffer that fate this year. But for North to turn it around and to you know, get back on the winning track and you know, it's been a while since there's been a winning season out there on the north side of Hagerstown.
Yep.
And they're moving in the right direction now.
Yep. If they securing this win today is going to be the most wins they've had since 2019, and so I know Coach Butts wants to. You know, as I said, this game he was looking. You know, as a what he termed a program changer of how we can and they're doing what he wanted to do. They wanted to come in, they wanted to run the ball, they wanted to move it and in a sportsmanlike way dominate the game. Mm-hmm. and just do, you know, win offense, defense, special teams. And that's, you know, that's what they wanted to do, and they've controlled the clock. They've ran the ball. They've you know, obviously scoring points. They forced South's offense to, you know, get out of what they wanted to do, and you know, and play from behind.
Here's Germanis Abanji again, still on his feet, inside the 20-yard line.
Now, I'm going to venture to say there's a face mask. There's 4 Rebels and 1 Hub, and the Hub's running the ball, and might be wrong here, but.
Take another look at this play. And that's what it is, a personal foul face mask. 15 yards, or half the distance now. They're inside that zone.
Yep.
Half the distance to the goal. It's going to put them down at about the 7-yard line. they'll have a 1st and goal there. As we come down to 3.5 minutes left in this one. And quarterback Logan Hoffman is going to let the clock run here.
Yep. And
take as much time as he can.
He's watching the back judge. He's going to start the clock and raise his hand. And this was a smart thing to do. I mean, you want to go into that game against Oakdale healthy, and everybody's healthy for North. And South called a number of timeout here. But, yeah, if you're North, you want to, you're trying to just get out of here and, run that clock down as much as you can.
I have to imagine that's maybe why we haven't seen much of James Jackson here in the second half.
Right.
Keep him healthy. Don't want to take any chances, because you're really going to need him next week against a tough Oakdale team.
Right. Yep. Now that's going to be an interesting game to see, because I know Oakdale has been a little bit of a, I don't want to say a roller coaster ride, but a little more like a yo-yo. They've been up and down a little bit, but they're going to be Oakdale, and I talked with Coach Stein back in the spring and early summer. He told me then that they're not going to be the same type of team that they were last year, just because of some of the dynamic players that they had from last year's team. And so, they got a couple kids going to Division I football from last year's team. So to replace those, but they've been, obviously they're doing well. And so it's going to be a tall task for North. But I really like how they're playing. I like watching them practice. Last week I was there. This week I was there. Just seeing from the beginning of the year when I was there, just to see how they practice and the mindset and demeanor. So here's a buck sweep that they've been trying to run all day, and I will give it to the Rebels. They have done a great job against that play right there. And that's another wing T staple. So Coach Wellesley, the defensive coordinator for South, he's done a nice job as far as knowing, stopping certain things that North does. But you can't focus on stopping everything. You got to take away what they do best, and there's just a tight inside belly.
Up the middle, James Butts, 10 yards for the touchdown. And a nice reward for James Butts, who's had a much bigger workload here in the second half, and he's rewarded with the touchdown.
Yep.
That gives the Hubs a 40-14 lead with the extra point pending. 2:21 to go here in the fourth quarter. Extra point from Menendez Urizar is up and good. That makes it 41-14, North Hagerstown. We appreciate you joining us here on Antietam Broadband for our live coverage of the North-South game today. Our final game of the fall season. Replays of today's game coming to you on Antietam Broadband, Channel 6 and 806, Monday and Tuesday, November 4th and 5th at 8 p.m. And then again Saturday and Sunday, November 9th and November 10th, excuse me. Two opportunities both of those days, 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. to rewatch this edition of the North-South game. 68th edition. North Hagerstown is going to cut into that advantage that South has in the series. It'll be a 35-32-1 advantage for South Hagerstown following this one.
So Coach Dave Foltz for North High, he runs the North High website, and he is the stat master, just not for North, but for Washington County football. And I was speaking with him yesterday. we were teasing. I was teasing him about the record and the year meeting, and
get a nice return here.
Yep.
From the Rebels. Kahari Alford takes it all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Before he's run out of bounds. Looks like they're going to spot him right at the 20-yard line.
But I was teasing Coach Foltz. I was like, asked him right away. I'm like, and what year is this meeting? And he like, I don't know, look it up on our website. But he ended up telling me. He was just, but yeah, Dave knows, he knows a lot of stuff about Washington County football and about North Ohio football. He does a great job, fantastic job. But we were talking about that and about the record and how things have gone and how North even alluded to the fact that, like, we got to turn it around.
Yeah,
so
it's been a long time. As you mentioned, 11 of 13 South had won coming into this one. But prior to that, North had its own run. They had won 8 straight. It was the longest winning streak in this series. North had won 8 in a row from, I believe it was 2003 to 2010. And then Coach Toby Peer came here to South and kind of turned the tables a little bit. Really, changed the culture here at South Hagerstown and got them on the winning track. And he had some great athletes here during that time as well.
Right. I was wondering if they were going to call that on that call, make that pass interference call. Sometimes it's when the quarterback's scrambling and throwing and you're running. Sometimes officials don't call that, and they'll tell you like, hey, it was on a scramble, and sometimes they will call it.
Owens pitches to JoJo Davis, getting inside the 5-yard line all the way down to about the 1. Nice pickup there of 9 yards by JoJo Davis on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Rebels looking to punch one more in here. So we're down to about a minute and a half left in this one. 41-14 is your score. North Hagerstown leading South Hagerstown. Owens. And there's a whistle here. Stoppage.
Encroachment, they're saying on North.
So half the distance, they're going to move that even closer to the goal line.
And that means defensive lineman or somebody for North lined up in what we call the neutral zone. The neutral zone is that length of the football between you got the offense has got to be behind the nose of the ball, and the defense has to be on the other end of the nose of the football. And that's the thing.
Handing off this time. And stopped quickly. Jacob Gibson stopped for a loss, and the Rebels are going to take a timeout here.
So that's a little trivia, little quiz, little joke. What's got 2 noses? A football.
There you go.
So,
South Hagerstown with 1:05 here. We'll drop to 1-8 on the season. North Hagerstown will improve to 4-5 to close out the regular season. As both teams get set for postseason action next week.
that's hard to believe, isn't it?
It is. The season is going so quickly. Always does. Now Owens on 3rd down, trying to get around the edge and run out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. Looks like may even spot him back closer to the 5. Fourth down. Just under a minute to go. 4th and goal. Just inside the 5-yard line. Davis in the background to the left of Owens. And Owens looking for Sisk, throws incomplete. So we take a last look here at this. Owens rolling right and just under pressure.
Yep. Yep. At North, I tell you what, their defense, they did a nice job. They got down to the 1-inch line, if you will, on the half the distance to the goal penalty, and they did a nice job of they actually, the last snap was on the 4-yard line, so they did a nice job there. Now they'll just
held tight, and North will just take a knee here to close things out. And we're at 50 seconds. They'll just snap it one more time.
When I was a coach, this would always make me nervous when we were right here in victory formation when you're backed up in your own territory. I was always like, let's do a quarterback sneak and get a couple yards, and then we'll take the knee, opposed to kneeling.
And they do take a knee one more time, and that will close things out here. Coach Nathan Butts gets a bath on the other side of the field. Players celebrating with him. First win for the Hubs over the Rebels since 2020, the COVID season.
Yep.
But they win this one here, 41-14. Congratulations to the Hubs. Stay with us. When we come back, Coach Urish and I will wrap things up for you. Bob Parcelletti also will be down on the field. Hopefully have Coach Butts and a couple of North High players. I'm sure James Jackson will be in that mix as well. So stay with us. More to come here from School Stadium. Your final score, North Hagerstown 41, South Hagerstown 14. High school football on Antietam Broadband. Stay with us. More to come.
Running the bases, it's more than just about speed. It's about agility, endurance, and resilience. But injuries can slow you down. At Meritus, we specialize in keeping athletes at their peak. From prevention to recovery, from rookies to professionals, our team of experts are here to keep you at the top of your game.
If I was the mayor of this town, I'd still be driving around in a Kia from Hagerstown, Kia.
Fall into the savings during Hagerstown Kia's model year-end event. Get a Kia Telluride 4.99% for 72 months, or the Kia Sportage 2.99% for 66 months. Drive away in a Kia Forte 4.99% for 72 months, or the Kia Sorento 2.99% for 66 months. Fall into the savings during the model year-end event at
Hagerstown Kia.
Are you tired of living with water that is causing rust stains, hard water spots, or bad smell or taste? With S&L Water Solutions, you'll know from your initial call that your water is our priority. We offer well pump services, water testing and treatment, and salt delivery. No water or low water pressure? We fix that too. Let S&L Water customize a complete water system for your specific needs. Just because your water's clear doesn't mean it's clean. Locally owned and operated. Call S&L Water Solutions for an in-home estimate today.
Back here at School Stadium, North Hagerstown, a 41-14 winner over South Hagerstown, the 68th edition of the North-South football game here in Washington County, won by the Hubs. We take a look at the celebration over there on the north sideline.
As I said, there's not like that trophy, man. That could It's quite an excitement there.
It's one of the biggest things that I've seen. The years of covering this game. That one of the biggest things is getting the picture taken with that trophy afterwards. Everything else can wait. We've got to get a picture taken with this trophy.
Yep.
Victory number 32 for North Hagerstown in this series. 68 games played. The Hubs have won 32 of them. South Hagerstown with 35 wins in the series, 1 tie. I think we have Bob Parcelletti down there on the field. We're going to send it down to him. He's got a couple of the members of the victorious North Hagerstown team. Bob, go ahead, take it away.
Okay.
Hey, coaches, make sure they go back the same way we came out.
All right, I'm here with
this side.
Here with Coach Nathan Butts, victorious North High. Coach, you guys in this age of throwing the ball all over the lot, you guys went old school.
Yeah, we have a tremendous group of backs. We're 5 or 6 deep at the running back, as you guys see today, and it makes us tough to defend. I used to be a spread guy, throw it all around, all that. You got that many backs, you get a system and do what it's going to take to be victorious and get the ball into the
Okay, we're having some audio difficulties down there with Bob and with Coach Butts. We apologize for that. So here with Coach Urish, and just really a dominating performance here today by the Hubs.
Yes, it was, and I think what Coach Butts was getting ready to say the same thing that he was telling me yesterday about. They figured out that they got stable running backs. As he says, that they got a 3-run option on each play, and when they need to add a 4th, they add Pegas in as wide receiver, and we saw that on full display today. And he talked about that they are 3 deep at each running back position, and I think everybody touched the ball today. And in that offense, as he was saying, that he was he's a spread guy that dabbles in the wing tee. And he said, hey, look, we got to go back to
Okay, we're going to try to send it back down to Bob Parcelletti now, see if we can get him with Coach Butts. Bob?
Okay, here we go. We were talking about the specialness of this game.
Yeah, it's special. As a kid, I'd come to this game as a fan. And I've been an assistant coach in this game, but to get the first one as a head coach and bring the trophy back to the north side of town, it means a lot to me. And I love that these kids can experience this. That's the greatest feeling. Of course, I'm happy, but it's for them guys, and I'm really happy they get to experience this success. And it's a big game, and they showed up today and played well. I'm so proud of them.
Now it's playoff time.
It is playoff time, so it's a new season, and we're kind of rolling. All right, we've turned things around the second half, and we'll see who we get, and we'll work hard to prepare. And the 3A West is tough, we know that, but so are we. So we're going to be all right.
All right, thanks. I'll talk to James there.
Yes, sir.
James, how you doing? Great performance today. You were running that trap play, and it seemed like you got past the first wave of guys, and then it was all you. What were you looking for there, and how do you break that stuff open?
I mean, it's all him. He can draw the plays up. As soon as I get it, I just got to work. There's nothing else to say.
Well, like I said, the door's open. I saw there was a couple times you cut back, a couple times you hit. How did you decide where you're going? Because that's chaos, I guess, with all those guys running around.
That ain't chaos. We all know how to play together.
Yeah, but I mean on their side, coming after you.
Oh, yeah, not them. I don't know what they was doing.
How comfortable are you? Because you guys started out as a passing team, then you guys shifted to basically old school. some of you guys weren't old enough to see some of this stuff.
Nah, I wouldn't say it's old school. It's like the way our team is, we got mad backs, we got mad receivers. So whatever we do, the people's got to stop us.
How big was it to get? I mean, you get 1, you get 2. Are you on a roll? I mean, 4 is a pretty big game.
4 before. Only a junior league.
Yeah.
But it ain't nothing. I'm going to try to get 5 in the playoffs.
Okay. That's a goal. Well, congratulations. Thanks for your time.
All right. Thanks, Bob. And thanks to James Jackson and Coach Nathan Butts as well. 41-14 is the final score here for North Hagerstown. After an 0-4 start to the regular season, they finish at 4-5. Really on a roll going into the postseason. Can't ask for anything better than that, right?
No, you can't. And that was Coach Butts was alluding to the fact that they came in, and I'm just reading back over my notes. He said the key to victories for us is execution. Block out all the noise. Block out all the noise going into the game. Then we got to focus on us, execute, and be disciplined, and not get caught up in the game. Now that happened a little bit, and that's going to happen in this game because everybody knows everybody. Coaches, players, everybody, referees. It is an intense atmosphere inside the fire of that game, all right? And then when you get in the game and you want to come in, and Coach Butts said that they want to come in and dominate the game, not just for this game to, in a sportsmanlike way, dominate the game, get ready for the playoffs. It's more than likely they're going to play Oakdale, which is a perennial, team in the state, and to get the mentality of let's overcome this South stigma that we got to face at the end of each year. Let's overcome that. Let's become the lead dog in that. And they wanted to, control the clock, control the time of possession, control the run game, stop the run, force South to have to get out of what they want to do and pass. They executed to a T. Everything except the turnover thing, but the kickoff return. If there was one thing that, that you look back at as a coach, hey, we gave up a kickoff. We need to be better in special teams because next week they got to be better. They're going to have to be on their game. And, like James said, we got mad backs and we know what we're doing. We play together well. Yes, you do. All right. And now you're going to play a team that also does that. So, anything can happen and, moving forward here. Right. So you get a new breath of life. And particularly when you win your last game, you're going into that playoff situation, the way the format is now, that is, it's a brand new season. It's a new feel. So Monday's practice is going to feel brand new to them. Yeah. Even though it's going to be Monday's practice, there's a new excitement in the air, and particularly coming off this win. And then you hit into the next week. It's fun. It's really fun. It's exciting.
And for South Hagerstown, what can you take out of this game? What flashes did you see out of this? They're like I said, they're kind of going the opposite direction. They've lost 8 straight now going into the playoffs. What can you take out of this game, and how do you build on this?
So let's start with the defense. Let's see. Well, look, we took away what North does best. They took away their power and their buck sweep, and they forced them to run trap, Sally, some other things, and North executed. But coming into the game, South, that's what they wanted to do, and they want and so let's figure that out. Let's take away that takeaway. What do we do well? We ran the ball well, some plays on offense. We got off script, but JoJo got going a little bit, scoring a touchdown. So you take that. That's special teams. We had a great kickoff return, 2 real good kickoff returns. We kept the ball. Punt game, we flipped the field position. So those things you kind of accentuate and work on in practice. And then, then you got to look at what didn't we do well, and let's get better at that. And we got a couple days here, but we got to get under the gun quick here and get better in that aspect of the game.
Well, that's going to do it for us from School Stadium here today. Again, your final score, 41-14. North Hagerstown winning the 68th edition of the North-South football game. For Coach Pete Urish and Bob Parcelletti, I'm Mark Keller. Thank you for joining us throughout this 2024 season, and we will see you again in 2025.